morning guys, or good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to my channel Car Focused. I've changed the name. The reason for Car Focused was this channel focuses mainly on cars, and the main car being a Focus, so Car Focused kind of made sense. So it's a bit more relevant to cars, which is what I was going for. Anyway, in this video I'm going to be doing a bit of a 3-month review, like I did say in the last video, just going over my thoughts on the car after owning it for 3 months, along with a little bit of wear and tear and that kind of thing. So the first things first, I think we should check the oil level, so let's go and do that. Right, so the car's now done 3,700 miles. I've owned it for just over 3 months, and I think it's time to check the oil. So I'm armed with my paper towel, and there's a dipstick. So let's see how much she's burnt. I've heard that they do burn quite a lot of oil, particularly in the initial stages of running the car in. So let's see how far down the dipstick it actually is. Basically, it's halfway down the dipstick. So let's see if I can show you. There you go. So the checkered area, the line at the top, there, that's the top mark, and it's halfway down. So yeah, it's used quite a lot, but it was to be expected really, because as I said, I've read in forums, seen various videos, Fezzer RS for example, that the car does use quite a bit of oil, but it's had 3 months of quite hard driving, so it doesn't really concern me too much. The main thing about these cars is the coolant level. As you can see here, the coolant level is fine. You've got the minimum line down there, the maximum line up there. The car is sitting between them both, which is good, because when the car gets hot, the water level will rise due to the heat. So this has lost absolutely zero coolant whatsoever, which is really encouraging. I do have the modified engine. I know the early 16 plates had was it a V4 engine, I think. Not too sure exactly what model it was, but this does have the modified one with the hex bolt that you can identify. So I'm not too concerned about any engine failures or anything like that. Touch wood. So yeah, that's the oil level. What I'll do is I'll get it serviced, or I'll get it changed at 6,000 miles. But in the meantime, if I need to top it up, I'll just top it up manually. So yeah, not too bad. So now let's talk a quick bit about wear and tear on the vehicle. Now I've only had it for 3 months, 3,700 miles, so not much wear and tear to be expected. Oh, this BMW is stopping. So yeah, the only kind of wear and tear that I've noticed is on the driver's seat bolster. I'll put a clip up now so you can see it, but on the right hand bolster there's a little bit of wear which is occurring from where I've been getting in and out of the car. Now I do tend to get in and out of the car quite carefully to avoid that, but because of how big the bolsters are, it's quite difficult to avoid sort of touching them as you kind of put yourself into the seat, particularly with my garage because it's quite tight. It's kind of unavoidable. So yeah, there's a little bit of wear occurring on the bolster, which is a little bit disappointing at this early stage of the ownership, but hopefully it won't kind of get too much worse, and that'll sort of be it. The next thing is stone chips. Now I've picked up one quite big stone chip on the front bumper, and I bought the Stealth Grey touch-up kit online from Ford, and I've kind of dabbed a bit of the paint on there because it was white, it was like a white undercoat, it was really noticeable. But since I've kind of touched it up with the paint stick, you can't really tell it's there unless you know it's there and you go looking for it. But stone chips to be to expected, I suppose. I mean, you can't really avoid them unless you keep the car hidden away in the garage, which obviously I don't because I drive it daily, so it's picked up a few stone chips. Now tyre wear. Now I haven't actually got a tyre tread depth gauge on me or at home. I need to buy one. But the tyres are doing quite well. There's still a good few mil off the wear bars on the front, and on the back there's obviously a bit more tread on the back than there is on the front, because although it's an all-wheel drive car, slightly more power, unless you're in drift mode, goes to the front wheels, and obviously turning the front wheels there's a bit more friction on the front tyres. So yeah, after 3 months, not too much wear on the tyres. Hopefully they'll last me another sort of 4 to 6 months before I have to change them, which is quite normal for me. The tyres are Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and they're very soft and sticky, so to get that extra grip you're going to get extra wear. So tyre wear, yeah, as expected. Now with my Fiesta ST, I had a few really annoying rattles. I had a rattle in the rear speaker, or both rear speakers actually, and I think there was one in the window, the driver's side window, that drove my head in, or done my head in, should I say. When I picked this car up, there was nothing. It was solid, there was no rattling at all. However, after 3 months, the glove box has produced an annoying rattle. Now it kind of goes away sometimes if I slam the door shut, but then eventually it comes back and it's rattling away, which is quite annoying. So when it goes in for its oil change, I may get them to have a look at it just to replace the glove box to stop it from annoying me. But other than that, there's no rattles in the car. It's still very solid, pretty much well put together. Now, the actual car itself, the driving experience after 3 months. Now, I've already done a video since I've run the car in, just explaining a few bits and bobs about kind of, you know, what's it like on the back roads, etc. But now it's done kind of nearly 4,000 miles. The car to me feels like it's actually getting quicker. Now it definitely feels like it's loosening up, and it's sort of stretching its legs a bit now compared to when it was new. Yeah, so the car definitely feels quicker. I kind of fall in love with it more and more each time I drive it, because I get to know it a bit more, I get more comfortable with it, I know its limits, and it just makes for a more pleasant drive when you kind of learn to trust the car. Now I do love the fact that we've got the drive modes. I've obviously covered the sport mode. I know launch control isn't the drive mode, but we've covered launch control as well. I like to drive this car now. I used to drive it in sport mode all the time, but if I'm going to have a fast drive on the back roads, I like to stick it in track mode. Now I know it says for track use only, but it does make for a bit more thrilling drive. It's a bit bumpy, but it does handle better. And it just feels, the setup, the balance just feels better with the power distribution. I don't know if that's just me imagining it or not, but it does feel better than when it is in sport mode. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the car, and if there are people out there still waiting for it, obviously because you've ordered it and you're on the waiting list, blah blah blah, you are in for a real treat. Just take it easy for the first 1,000 miles, and then once you hit that running period, just drive it as it's supposed to be driven. Don't be afraid to drive it quickly within obviously speed limits, but stretch its legs, open it up. It's a fast car, it's designed to be driven fast, and it is addictive. Now the downside with driving fast, or just generally driving this car, is the fuel consumption. Now the fuel consumption is pretty bad. I've touched upon it before, but I'm now averaging 21.3. It's actually gone up slightly because I drove long distance on the motorway a couple of weeks ago, which got the MPG up again slightly. But you will be going to the petrol station frequently. In fact, that's where I'm going now, because I've got 38 miles left until I run out of fuel. So yeah, you will find yourself at the petrol station a lot, and when you put in super unleaded in as well, kind of adds up a bit more money, but it runs better on super unleaded, so that's what I put in it. So one of the biggest things I like about this car, other than the launch control and the drift mode, etc, etc, is the way it goes around corners. Now I did touch upon this before, but the thing just hooks up and it sticks to corners like glue. Now I've got a Fiat 500 holding me up my head, so it's quite hard to demonstrate, but I'll try and hang back and we'll go around this corner. Not phased at all. Why is it when you go on a drive, the roads are empty? As soon as you get on the road, you get stuck behind a Fiat 500, a Honda Jazz, or something small and grannified that just does not get out of the way. It just ruins it. Also the alloy wheels, the forged alloy wheels. They're a pain in the backside to clean. I've had to order these wheel woolies. They're like a microfiber woolly on a wand, and you can kind of get like to the back of the alloy and do the calipers, etc. And I've also got proper Bilberry wheel cleaner, which I dilute with some water and spray on the wheels before I scrub them. But they're just a pain to clean, really. It takes time, and also the paint is really soft, and they do mark up quite easily. In the sunshine, you do see some light scratches, and it's very difficult to avoid scratching the alloys. But I've kind of just come to the conclusion that they're going to get scratched anyway, so I try my best, but you know, you can only do so much. Once again, I'm stuck behind somebody cruising along in a 60 limit at 40 miles an hour. Not sure why. We got the power though, we got the power. And it's done. Job done. Sounded like a bloody machine gun then. Oh, crow. This is why I bought the RS. Bought the RS for this. Getting on my local roads, having a bit of fun. I mean, just look at these roads. Amazing. This stretch here. I do need to drive another hot hatch to compare it against this. It'd be good to get the Focus ST, or maybe something in the same league like a Golf R, something similar, four-wheel drive. So basically, the conclusion after 3 months of ownership is, if you're getting an RS and you want to enjoy it, you want to get the best out of it, make sure you drive it properly, because it definitely does loosen up, and it definitely does start to feel quicker. Take it on a track day, utilise all of the features that it's got, utilise the drift mode, utilise the launch control. If you do all that, you'll have a lot of fun with it. It's got a lot to give, it's very versatile. Might be a little bit bumpy, the ride, but I don't feel it at all when I'm driving it. It's only when I have a passenger on board, much like my Fiesta ST. So yeah, just make sure you use it. Just get out there, drive it, enjoy it, exploit it. It's an amazing car, and it will reward you if you use it properly.